Hey there, Taurus. It's me here, Krystal Clear. Happy to deliver Spirit's message for you for June 2024. So we're going to start by pulling two overall energy cards for the month. One as we come into the month, one as we leave the month. And we'll pull a few tarot cards, looking at the upcoming weeks, as well as some oracle for Spirit's guidance as you navigate this month of June 2024. So let's get started, Taurus. Starting off the month, we've got priorities. Taurus. I mean, you're good with priorities, or at least your priorities when they're aligned is something that you're good with. And I feel as if Spirit is really encouraging you to take a look at your priorities and to make sure that they are in alignment and that you're working towards your goal. And what is your goal? Well, before you can have your priorities in check, you have to have a vision. But I feel as if that vision does reveal itself more and more in May, in the month of May, so that as you come into the month of June, you're like, okay, well, if this is what my vision is, then this must be the priorities that I need to focus on. And so make sure that you are being purposeful about prioritizing. Let's see how that looks as we get to the end of the month. How are the priorities for Taurus? How's the journey with priorities and through our priorities? Yeah, it's so important. Our practices become our magic, right? The spiritual law of attraction. This card is all about energy. I can also see that both of these cards are like the gold yellow color. It does make me feel connected to the solar plexus chakra with the yellow, just the heavy yellow color. And that's all about our obligations. So make sure that priorities and obligations, like they're two different things and they have a different energetic makeup. It's important that I feel like you'll realize as you get to the end of the month that a lot of the experiences that you have with people or places within your family, within your career, it's an external representation of the priorities that you keep and how well, like priority versus obligation is what's coming in, to really be mindful of that. Make sure you're not doing things out of obligation, but that your priorities is something that you happily do because you know that it is your ability to respond to your dreams and your goals. So they become your responsibility. And at the end of the month, I feel as if you're really at a beautiful place for manifesting and starting fresh and going on a new journey, like a fresh start. And there's something new coming as you get towards the end of June that will show up in July. But it all depends on how you prioritize your responsibilities here this month. So definitely something new ahead, but let's see what's coming. Oh my gosh, perfect. Coming for the month of June. And there it is, that yellow again with the sun. But the Fool is all about restarting, reconnecting, doing something new, a fresh perspective. And I feel as if your perspective about like what's important to you in relationships, what's important to you within work, and we'll see maybe exactly how that goes. But since this is a generalized reading, it's important to apply this to your life the way that it fits, and to leave what doesn't resonate, of course. But with the Fool, there is a clear slate. And these priorities, what's important to you, they need to be aligned in order for you to like direct your focus. And your focus forward is this Fool. And it's like it's a new path. It's a new journey. And you have every ounce of energy within you to make it happen. You just got to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons for you. Yeah, you need that confidence, Taurus. We've got King of Wands. It's all about like the confidence in our path forward, and like the wands, the fire, your passion, like what really gets you excited, what gets you inspired, what can you be passionate about, find passion with. Make sure that you're not just doing things to do things along the way. Get your mind right, get your body right, get your energy right, get that communication right. You're stepping into a season where you've got like the Midas touch, Taurus. Obviously, with the spiritual law of attraction, you have the Midas touch. It's important that you're touching things with confidence, and that you're you're using your insight to grow, you know, your focus, your insight, your intuition, to grow in a direction that you want to head in, not to play small, not to question, you know, what you're up to or what you're doing, like to really gain a fresh perspective. So I do feel the fresh perspective is coming. These priorities, they help along the way to figure out the practices. Your King of Wands is going to encourage you. It's that confidence coming in. Let's see what we've got. All right, Six of Wands. And then like put it on display. Don't be afraid to shine, Taurus. Don't be afraid to stand in your truth, your authentic self. How can you manifest if you're afraid of your magic? The Six of Wands is all about being recognized for your authentic self, your true self. How can you have relationships honor your true self if you're afraid to show up as that? Or if you judge yourself, if you judge how big your heart is, or you judge how passionate your profession is, like how passionate you are about your profession. And do you feel that? Do you feel how big your heart is? Do you feel your passion rising? And if not, let's get to that. Let that be the priorities that we get in check in the beginning so that you can manifest from this beautiful big place that you are, so that you can elevate and exceed your expectations. And you can align with the right people, Three of Pentacles, so that you're aligning with the right people. Also, that three is reminding me of like the mind, body, soul connection, making sure that your actions and your communication and your behaviors are aligning, because that really is how we manifest. Making sure that they're all there. A lot of the times, most likely than not, people will struggle with at least one of those areas, either the thoughts or the communication or the actions. Usually at least one is stronger, and then it allows for there to be two that you can work with that helps the third one, the hardest one, kind of come into motion, if that makes sense. So for example, let's say that you're really great at saying like the right things, and you can like, you're great at communication and you have what it takes to, you know, say what you need to say, and you're also good at carrying out what you say. So you walk it like you talk it. But in your mind, perhaps the entire time, you're like, oh my gosh, you're going to screw up. It's only a matter of time before this blows up in your face. What's happening is you're getting your spiritual law of attraction, your manifesting is becoming off track, because you have three things that you can control in your human experience. It's your thoughts, it's your words, and it's your actions. Everything else cannot be controlled or whatever, is influenced, right? These are the areas in which you can control. So it's important to at least focus in on two, and then be mindful about that third one, to really try to, like, nobody can stop. Sometimes the beliefs is the hardest part, because not everybody hears those all the time. So like, yes, of course, if your beliefs and your communication is aligned, then people would hear your beliefs and you would be expressing them. But would you just be a big dreamer and you're just talking it, you're just talking the talk and you're not really walking the walk, right? So that's how it can work in both areas. So take a look at your life, look into those three areas. I really feel it's important, not just for you to connect with other people, but also for you to connect with yourself, to make sure that when you're prioritizing your thoughts, your communication, and your actions, making sure that you're on the same page with all three of those as much and as best as you can. And that makes you a beautifully energized spiritual being that manifests like a bad mama jamma. And also, Three of Pentacles is working with other people. So if you find that maybe your relationships have been a bit challenged, whether it's within life, your family, love, your partnerships, or your career, your coworkers, things like that, there is a shift coming, and you do align. As you align with yourself, as you make sure your priorities are set, you do align with more appropriate people, more purposeful people. These connections feel like you're all on the same page and working together in harmony a bit better than they have before. And so you attract in the people, the places, and the experiences that feel purposeful. All right, let's see Spirit's advice for this month. We got Walk the Flower Path. It's for sure a delicate dance, right? To align those three areas It can be challenging, and we're creatures of habit. So sometimes we get comfortable in those habits. They become obligations, they become patterns that really aren't purposeful. And so in order to figure out what's working for you and what's not working for you, when you're looking at those three areas, your communication, your beliefs, and your actions, ask yourself for each one, like for every thought that you identify, or that you're bringing awareness to, and for every phrase that you might say, like you might have a phrase that you say all the time. For example, love is unconditional. Well, does that phrase move you forward, or does it hold you back? Is it coming from a place of empowerment, or is it coming from a place of disempowerment? Is it coming from a place of connection for the future? Or is it coming from a place of disconnection? And do that with your thoughts and your words and your actions. Use discernment to walk the flower path. It's a delicate path. It is just yours. It is a narrow path forward. It is for you to discover. I'm happy to help you, so check out the description if you need any help with that. But this is your time to shine, Taurus. Yeah, encourage effortlessness. I love the beauty of the butterfly, which is all about transformation. I encourage effortlessness, energy work, the Fool, these cards that have come out, this message that Spirit is indicating about aligning these three major areas in our life. It's not meant to be discouraging. It's not meant to maybe ridicule or discourage different areas where you haven't been doing this. It is to bring light to where you can create from, so that you can see the path forward, like the King of Wands, holding on to his staff, and at the end of it is the fire burning bright. You need to get to that place where you have your light and it is burning and it is guiding you along the way, and that you're not being guided by your shadow, by your insecurities, by your fears, and that you're not holding back, and that you're just moving forward on your path. And it's easy and it's effortless because it feels good to you. It's natural. It's normal. All right, let's see what else we've got. Finally, we have bubble up. I love that. Bubble up. Let it surface. Let your light surface. Let the good stuff come up. I really enjoy this card because and like the effortlessness, the bubble up, the flower path, like it's delicate. It's gentle. This isn't meant to bring you through some sort of, solar plexus boot camp where you're trying to figure out what you do out of obligation, what you do for yourself, and what is tradition and what is not. It's not meant to be heavy. It's not meant to feel obligated. This work is designed, and this encouragement and this insight is given to encourage you to find your happy place with this, to allow yourself to bubble up with new ideas, a new path forward. Let it be exciting, and it will feel effortless when it comes from that place rather than coming from a place of supposed to do things. So, Taurus, that's what I have for you as you go about the month of June. I hope that this helps, and I'm wishing you all the very best. Take care.